Okay. Last week we could not have a live session, but a happy independence is still our month, our Ghana month, our heritage month, where we celebrate Ghana, we celebrate how far God has brought us as a nation. And trust me, God has been good. It may be worse, but I'm sure in some other situations, we wouldn't even want to compare ourselves with them. Well, this is the book review show right here on Precious TV, and I'd like to welcome you to this Saturday's edition, the 16th of March, with me, Caroline Owusu Asamoah. I'm with a patriot. He goes by the name Reverend Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei. He's so passionate about children, especially the future of our nation. And today we are going to discuss who is a patriotic Ghanaian. Who is a Ghanaian? Who is a patriotic Ghanaian? We are going to find out more. But let me just say condolences to the family of the late Professor Nketia. He passed on at age 98, I think, on Wednesday. And our condolences to the whole family and to the patriots who have brought Ghana this far. We salute you. Well, so you can join us via text or WhatsApp on 020-343-8710. That's the number that you can send your text or WhatsApp to. And we're live on Facebook, so just kindly go to Facebook, The Book Review Show GH or Precious TV, and we are live. So, Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei is with me here. I think the last time we had him was last year. He's been running away from us. Blessed morning.
Good morning, Auntie Carol.
And happy Independence Day. Even though we are still in the month.
You respond, same to you.
I think so.
Oh, very happy returns.
Oh, wow. So what have you been up to, Doc?
Oh, by His grace, you know. We combine work and ministry. So we've been in the rural areas.
Okay.
Focusing on children as usual. And I think it's an eye-opener to be in the rural areas, look at trying to shape life. There is a lot of work to be done. A lot. You know, as we were saying behind the scenes, so much work to be done. After how many years of independence?
62.
Yes, we have a lot of work to be done. And I think, but we must not give up.
Yeah.
It is possible.
It is possible.
Yes, it is possible.
Indeed, it is possible.
Yes.
Okay, so Doc, now looking at celebrations of independence, now there's been quite a lot of tragedy this week.
Okay.
From Sunday's crash of the Ethiopian Airlines to a building collapsing in Lagos with children inside. I learned about 20 dead. And then just yesterday, someone picked up
Christchurch.
Yes, gun, streamed it live on Facebook and was shooting people in 2 mosques. Now, before we go to that, what's happening? Someone may ask, what's going on?
I think it's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. But I think a lot of things have been happening like this for a very long time. But now, because of social media and the way news can travel very fast. And bad news sells a lot. So we have more of those news on in the media, and we can hear of them very quick. Okay, you can just use your phone to take shots of anything happening. You blast it on Facebook and it goes viral. So I think what is happening is that we now have access to media where it is not only the journalists that can make news now. Okay, you as an individual can make news and all that. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that it has been a very hectic week. We wish there were some inventions and creative ideas which will change the world. But unfortunately, we are faced with challenges and issues that are, sometimes you feel like the way humanity have developed, some of these problems would have been minimized. But you can see that with all our development, some of the issues seems like they cannot go. And I think that is where we really need God. Yes, no matter how developed we are, we will still need God in whatever we do. Because there is a certain aspect of humanity and life that man cannot control himself. Okay, so when you see such issues also, it also means that it is also time to raise our prayers. Okay, yes, raise our prayers. because you can't stop some of the issues.
Yes.
Okay, if you look at the aircraft that crashed, it was a new aircraft.
Yeah.
It's one of
Fresh.
the latest model with all the so-called gadgets. You know, these computers that we want to trust, even our medical field. You hear sometimes they are new computers are being invented that can do surgery and all that. And I'm like, wow, if they are running aircraft like this and you leave a whole human being for this machine to operate, Charlie, it's so you can see that with all of man's advancement, it still needs God. What we need is God.
Yeah.
Because the guy who picked that gun in Christchurch, New Zealand, if Christ was in his heart, the Holy Spirit was there, you know, he will not be able to do that. He cannot. Even if he cannot, he will not even sit down and think about it. You understand?
It's far from.
It's far from it. So the more we take God out of our society, we should know that we are opening up ourselves for this kind of tragedy.
Yes,
you understand?
Indeed.
With all the kind of poverty in Africa and all that. If stress alone should lead people to be killing like that, then we would have been killing more than that. You understand? Because the kind of stress and poverty you have in Africa, you know, but you see, despite everything, we may be poor, but we have Jesus.
Yeah.
That is one thing. We have God. We have that fear of God and that community life. I think that is one thing we need to also develop. You know, the worse, the more, the richer and the richer a nation or a society becomes, you'll see that the more everybody become me, my, I. Where there is no...
Everyone builds their empire. It's up to
there's
just
no
them. There's no community spirit.
There's no community spirit. You know, the extended family structure is broken. It's you and your children. You
Even
know,
when you die in your room,
nobody knows. Okay, but if you have a family, you have some uncles, you have some cousins, you have some distant cousins around. When you are straight, you are talking to him. You know, you share jokes. If the burden is shared. But where you have this nuclear family system, where even the nuclear family system is even breaking down. You have single
technology,
mothers,
and now even parents sit at the table, but everyone is on their phones.
And I'm guilty. All of us are guilty. The last time my girl came and said that he put your phone down. You know, I felt so bad. But it's true. We are all guilty. You know, we are so busy. We bring business to the house. Okay.
Even in the bedroom,
somebody is asking you for a quotation, you know. Can you work on this thing for me? You have a so-called smartphone. The whole office is on your phone, so you have your work.
There's no work time.
No. So the quality time, you know. I just look at my girl who said, "Daddy, put your phone down," you know. It's so, and at the end of life, it's not how much time you spend with your mobile phone that really cares, but how much time you spend with your loved ones. That is what you'll regret most.
Wow. It's the book review show right here on Precious TV with me, Caroline Owusu Asamoah. And today we are discussing who a patriotic Ghanaian is with Reverend Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei. He is the founding pastor of the Trailblazers Christian Ministry. And we are talking about the traits of a patriotic Ghanaian. Now, Doctor, who is a patriotic Ghanaian? We hear patriotism. And oftentimes we hear it when it's independence. After independence, time is, and then it's gone. Yes, it's like a ceremonial something. What exactly is this thing that will not be encouraged throughout the year, but only in a particular month on a particular day?
It's like we become like a vulture. After the rain we build.
Yes.
You know, and yet we never build. I think, like you said, I would rather say who is a patriot.
Okay.
Then you can put the Ghanaian, the Togolese, the Nigerian. One who has deep love and passion for his nation. One with a deep love and a passion for his nation. To the extent that he's ready to put his life online to defend his nation.
To put his life online?
Yes, to defend his nation.
Wow, okay. I didn't read that one.
That is it. So one with a deep passion for his nation and for an idea, a political or a community idea that he's passionate about it. He wants to see it happen and at all costs.
But
it's ready
is it
to
negative?
fight for it.
Looking at what you just said, in that the person is ready to fight for it.
Yeah.
Because some people look at that and then they are ready to fight. They take arms and they are ready to fight.
The question you just asked is a $1 million question. You know why?
Tell me.
When Nelson Mandela was fighting for the emancipation of South Africa, and was fighting against the apartheid, the CIA deemed him the third most dangerous person in Africa, that he was a terrorist.
Yes.
Okay, but in Africa, he was a hero.
Yes, so I'm talking about, no. What I'm trying to say is, you know, some people feel that, okay, something is wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so not in the sense of Mandela.
Yes.
But they feel that, okay, if the government is not doing what it you know, people take up vigilantism. And
that's what I'm saying, that Mandela fought. You know,
yes.
Mandela was a rebel leader at a certain time. So during that time, he was a patriot for the South Africans. But to the people he was trying to usurp the authority, he was a rebel. So, you know, depending on where you are standing. But, you know, I believe that it should be for a just cause.
Yes.
A cause that, whether you are in America or China, is it right? Oppression is wrong wherever it finds itself. So when you are fighting oppression, for me, you are a patriot, you know. And if you look at our national anthem, it's able to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. You know, so with all our might. So it means that to use your might, it means there is an opposing force, and you are trying to also fight it. Okay, so definitely the one who is enjoying from your slavery is not going to laugh. Definitely. So from that perspective, definitely there will be clashes. So you cannot really depending on where you are looking, you are standing. That's why I say it's $1 million question. Okay. But in our context, one who loves Ghana and wants to see Ghana develop at all costs. Okay, that is what I would say.
That's what you say. Okay, so you can join the discussion. We're discussing what patriotism is and who a patriotic Ghanaian is. You can join us via text or WhatsApp on 020-343-8710. We are live on Facebook, so you can drop a message, you can drop a shout out. And at the appropriate time, when the phone lines are activated, before you make your submission, you tell us what you love about Ghana. Be a patriot. Okay, so now let's look at some characteristics. You've given us the main definition. That is someone who has a deep respect and love for his nation. And here we are talking in the context of Ghana.
Yes.
So now, what are some things that I do or I will do after Independence Day celebration, not just on Independence Day, throughout my whole life in Ghana, will tell that I am being patriotic? Because I think sometimes people think being patriotic is putting the Ghana flag on your car and you know, marching. And to children, some children, all they know is march past.
All of us, when we were young, that's what the colonial master made us.
Yes, exactly.
Understand that when you march very hard. You know,
you have to make sure that your hand is level.
Straight, you know.
So now, what are some of the characteristics? Then we move on to how we can instill that in our lives and then in the lives of our children, the future.
I think it's selflessness. That whatever you are doing, the question is, how is the nation benefiting from it? And are you leaving this nation better than you came to meet it? Is your decision making things easier for the next generation? Or whatever you are engaged in or whatever you are doing, are you making this place a better place for the next generation that you came to meet it? For me, that is the cardinal point. That a patriot is the one who is making sure that whatever I have to do for my nation to make it better than I came to meet it, I will do it at all costs. If need be that I'm going to defer instant gratification, in order for the next generation to be better than I came to meet it. So selflessness. And when you look at, let's look at Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You know, if you look at him, he was a very selfless man. There were a lot of things that he would have enjoyed as an individual, you know, and by now his children should have been trillionaires, not even billionaires. because being the first president, he came to meet so much money, and he would have easily converted all that money to himself, put it in a bank in Switzerland or anywhere in the world. And now, by now, the sons and daughters would have been enjoying whatever it is. But he did not do that. His aim was to make sure that this country developed. You know, the kind of industries he saw in America or wherever he went in the West, the standard of living he saw there, you know, the development, the schools he saw, the universities he saw, the factories he saw. He wanted to implement the same thing over here. So, and even to the extent that it cost him. And that was actually the beam of his, his overthrown, because the West felt that he was a threat to them. Okay, so selflessness is one key. And yesterday I was just thinking about it. And I said, Christ is the greatest patriot of humanity, and you can see that trace of selflessness, his willingness to die for what he believes
even people who
did not appreciate him.
But
and that's one of the greatest sacrifice. You know, if you are dying for somebody who appreciates you,
that one, you know that, I love him, he will appreciate. Even when I'm gone, he will do some nice photo or name something after me. But here are people who don't even
care about it, okay? So your selflessness, okay, and dedication to duty.
That's important, yes, especially in our workplaces, because people feel, I mean, Charlie, this work that I'm doing, these people, they don't even respect what I'm doing. So, you know, because he's in a place where it's not so cool, like, let me just do it anyhow. How does it affect
that one cry is worse. It's a little better. The one Abenjuma Yensia. You understand?
It's not for my father.
It's not for my father. You know, that attitude came on board during the rebellion against the colonial master. You know, when
that mentality,
you know, at that time we wanted the colonial master to leave. So the civil servants were trying to, were part of the struggle. Okay, so we work in such a way that the colonial master will fail. Okay, and so that jargon was developed, that mindset was developed. But the problem is that after the colonial master left, the mindset did not live with him. That is why it's like working in a place and being lazy. You don't know you are developing habits and cultures. You will leave the place and you will go with the laziness. And you start your own work and you see that the culture you develop whilst working somewhere, now you are using that same culture for building your business, and you begin to fail. And you begin to blame others for...
Meanwhile, it's you. When you were working for someone, you thought, but now it's,
You understand? But that is the secret there. So during that colonial struggle, we had that mind that Abenjuma Yensia, and then now the colonial master is gone. It's now our own job, but we've learned how not to carry. So now that we are in charge, we're still not carrying. And that is one of the things that have become a big problem to our nation, because we pay eye service to a lot of things. You know, you'll see that if you go to any government institution or anywhere, if the boss is there, if the minister is coming, everybody pretends to work. And then
immediately he's away.
The lotto, we start working lotto.
Now it's the social media from morning to evening.
From morning to evening. And even if you go there for a service, you are rather seen as an obstacle. You know, you've come to distract him. He was, in Bibi Papa. You know,
I have a friend in the government sector, and she said, you know, she's hardworking. She believes that if you are a child of God, you have to do things to perfection, because you'll be accountable. And the people in her office always complain. That you two, you work too much. Just do this small thing, and then you've put so many details in it, and this and this and this and that, and it's her persecution.
That's right, because her hard work is exposing their weakness.
Yes, their weakness.
And it's showing that they are incompetent. So you also must be incompetent as we are, in order to be at par. But if you are working hard, it means we could have worked hard that way. So we need to bring you down.
If you can do it, that means we also could do it. But then our boss will see that
we are lazy guys. So it's like you are trying to shine. You are trying to say, hey,
Charlie, you are being yourself.
That's it. So let's take him up. So that is one of the challenges we face as a nation. So loyalty to our work when no one is watching. I believe that is even the greatest. Where we have the consciousness that not only are we doing it for the nation, but we are doing it for ourselves and the unborn generation. Okay, that is what makes, if you look at all the nations that have become mighty great, I always say that America is not America because of this generation of Americans there.
Definitely not.
It was the generation before who thought of building America in such a way that this generation is going to enjoy what they are enjoying now. And Ghana is also Ghana, Africa is also Africa because of the generation before us and what they were thinking. So we are a reflection of the generation before us. And then generation after us will be a reflection of who we are today. So just look at the generation. If you look at today, it's a reflection of the generation yesterday. And if you want to look at tomorrow, look at today.
What's happening today.
It will give you a clue about where we are going and what we will become as a nation, as a continent. Because I always say that anywhere I travel, Africa is the same. We all look alike. Just the capital cities changes a little. But whether you go to Togo, Nigeria, Niger, Mali, the capital looks a little different. But just 10 kilometers from the capital, you see that they are the same. The roads are the same. On tar, the house, everything virtually looks the same. So we are thinking in a certain way that is producing the kind of environment we have.
That we are in.
This environment in which we sit is not by default. It's a result of someone's thinking. The way the chairs are positioned here, the way the cameras are, the way we are sitting, the lighting and everything. So the same way society is how it is, not by default, but by deliberate design. Whether for good or for evil. Every society has been engineered. So if we want to have a society of patriotic people, the question is, how do we engineer the society in such a way that we can raise young patriotic people? Because I feel that the development of a nation is directly related to that.
Okay, so please hold the fort. We will be going for a quick break. We'll be back and then we'll take your messages and your calls. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so you are welcome back to the Book Review Show. You're welcome back to the discussion on patriotism, who a patriotic Ghanaian is. You can join us via text or WhatsApp 0203438710, or you can visit our Facebook page, the Book Review Show GH, or Precious TV. We are live. I think in 10 minutes we'll be opening the phone line so that you can make your comments and your contributions to the program. I have Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei with me. We've established who a patriot is, so now we are going to find out how to be patriotic or how to instill it in the youth of today. Because, Doc, one thing I've noticed is people are running away from the country in search of greener pastures.
That's right.
And you'd ask yourself, is it that bad? What's happening? Are there things we are not seeing? Are there opportunities we are not seeing? Is it that it's in some parts it's really, really bad, that's why they are leaving, or it's within? How do we instill it? What's happening?
The question is like a hydra.
Because it's just, I don't know.
I think it's you cannot give a straightforward answer to such a question. But first of all, the first one, how do we instill patriotism in the youth, or how do we teach it?
Yes.
I would say some things cannot be taught, they are caught.
Why do you say that?
For example, I observe when my boy need room, I wanted him to cultivate the habit of reading. I saw that I couldn't force him to read.
Yes, of course.
Okay, if I give him the book and I force him to read, he will never read it. So, but you know what happened? I started reading myself anytime I was with him. So if I see him around, I take a book and I start reading. And then he will come, Daddy, what are you reading? I say, I'm reading a nice story. If you learn how to read, you can read it yourself also. Say, Then you know what I observed? Immediately I pick a book to read. He will also go and look for a book. And then start going through the book. And then come, Daddy, what is this? Daddy, what is this? Daddy, what is this? So he started loving reading, not because I forced him, but because he saw me reading.
Yeah, you were an example to him.
Perfectly. You see, the same way patriotism, no matter how you teach it, if we don't see it practiced by the one teaching it, you will never have, you rather have a bouncing effect. Yeah. The youth will rather rebel. So I believe that the best form of teaching patriotism is living it.
So who should live it now? And when it is looking at the, let me say from the teenage years to 30s or 35s or 20s, is it too late for these people to be taught this example? Or should we forget them and focus on the younger children? And even that couple, we are not even there to be those examples.
I think it's two-way. For the older generation, you use law. That's why you see that the law is effective at a certain age. Yeah. So, for example, if a child below a certain age commits a certain crime, you don't call it crime because you know that he's below a certain age. So, for the people below the age, then you must concentrate on them and make it a culture. But when the person doesn't have it as a culture, then you need to put a law in place that will instill a certain minimum amount of fear, that will induce what the kind of response that you are looking for.
Okay.
Do you get it? When a person is young, you can design a culture for the person. But when the person is older, the older generation, they don't easily change. You understand? So for that person, it is the law that is put in place, and the law will have to induce it willingly or unwillingly into that individual. So I believe that if we really want to control the future, and for that, we have to focus on the younger generation. No two ways about it. The younger generation. And you are asking who will teach it?
Yes.
I think anybody who, let's bring it to the home, the house. Number one, father and mother, older siblings. Okay, father and mother, older siblings. You see, if you are in the house and you drink water and you throw the water anywhere in the house, the child is looking at it. If I can throw the water in the sachet rubber anywhere in the house, then it's right for me to throw it anywhere in town. So the first example is the parents. That's why nobody descends from heaven. Even Jesus was not allowed to descend from heaven. He was born through a woman, so that he can have somebody to follow. You know, yesterday I was telling my wife that, you know, when a child is born, he is first attached to the mother. Over a period of time, that attachment to the mother moves, and then he becomes attached to the father. So you see that they are closer to their father. And then from the father, it moves to themselves. So now they want to be in the room alone. They want to, daddy calls him, daddy, you are worrying me, you know. And then it shifts from there to his friends, then to the larger society. So the first example for every child, that's why Dr. Agri said, if you educate a woman, you educate what? A nation. But if you educate a man, you educate an individual. So here we are, the first teacher is the woman for patriotism. Your first, and as I think I will give you the women a kudos for that. Because for you to even give birth to us, it takes a lot of sacrifice. You are naturally patriotic. You understand? To give birth to us and sustain us. A mother would not. There are times, you know, a mother will be sick, but because of the child, he cannot take some medications, and he will be suffering for the sake of the child. So I think the woman is an epitome of a patriotic citizen. Okay, naturally you carry it naturally. So if we can take that natural trait and then instill it in the child, I think we can have a good society.
Okay, I think let's see if we can pick a call or two. So the phone lines have been activated. This is the Book Review Show. We are discussing patriotism. Who is a patriotic Ghanaian? 0207 10001 is the number that you can call. 0207 10001. So it starts with the mother, and then now to the father.
To the father, and then the siblings.
The siblings,
yes.
And then the society,
so
or the friends.
So the friends, and then society.
And then society.
And then on the national level, our political leaders.
And one important thing is the media.
The media.
Because lately, what we as the media, what we are projecting, it's going somewhere else. What do you think? How do you see?
The media is like a sword, a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
It can cut both positively and negatively. You see, the issue is, I believe that as a nation, our challenge, all our challenge can be summarized into one simple solution,
which is
a national development agenda. Because if we have a national development agenda, then the media every morning can be engineered
to push that agenda forward.
Okay, so we have a national agenda towards our young people, the young ones, the youth. We have a national agenda towards entertainment, industry, technology, science, engineering, even religion, culture, food, all the 14 pillars of society. And then now the media as one of the fourth estate of the nation will then pick that agenda and decide which one will I like to focus on. So if that media facility is engineered towards sports, they will say, okay, we want to push the national agenda towards sports. And then this one say, okay, we are more into, our focus is more into politics. So we now engineer it towards that, religion. But when we don't have a national agenda,
everyone just projects what he thinks.
He thinks is right. And that is why we are where we are. You understand? You know, when we came into this studio, I did not come with my mind. I did not come with what I want to discuss. So I come in and say, look, this morning I want to discuss football. So even though it's a book review, I want to do football. If you don't allow me to discuss football, I'm going. No, we won't have any program. No, you had an agenda. You had a focus. There is a name of the program, book review. This month we're looking at independence. Okay, and we had independence because we had patriotic citizens who fought for that. Okay, so now we are looking at it. You had specific questions.
Yes.
I have to work towards that. So you see, you have a direction.
Yeah.
So we are able to flow and achieve a certain result because you had an agenda. But where we, a nation, we don't know. As we sit down here, where do you see Ghana in the next 25 years? Even in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where do you see the entertainment industry? Where do you see the culture?
The media.
Where do you see music?
Clueless.
Where do you see the book industry? Even the book in literature, where do you see it? Where do you see industrialization? Okay, we don't have any clear picture. The last time I sat there and I was asking myself, why don't we have a competition for the young ones, okay? Which you will, every year you will do an artwork of how you want to see your community in the next 50 years.
For the art, the designers, then they do it, they display, and then it's being championed. It's being
championed, so the children will draw how I want to see Accra 2050 or Fadama 2040, Ablekuma
25 or
25.
80, yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing to that child? You see, you need to mine your mind, or your mind will mine your mind for you.
Hey, this one, there's a tongue twister. You need to mine your mind, or else your mind will mine your mind for you.
Your mind is a gold mine. You need to mine it.
Yeah.
You see, so you have capacities you have no idea about. So you need to mine. So and we need a direction. So that child is drawing the society he wants to live in. And so what are you doing? You are psyching him. You are reprogramming his mind. So now he's walking around and he's believing that this is how my community is going to look like.
And he has no... wow.
You see, so we need a plan. That is it. We need a plan. We need a plan. If we get a plan, the media will be... You won't do what, like I said, I can't come here and show you what to do because you have a plan.
A plan.
Okay, and that is what is actually directing the whole program.
Wow, amazing how time flies. I'm so amazed the time is almost up. Wow. In case you just tuned in, sorry, our time is almost up. We've looked at what patriotism is, and we've looked at how to instill it into the youth. We've looked at some practical steps to take to become a patriot. And we had Reverend Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei. Sorry we could not take your calls, but hopefully when he comes again, we believe that when we call on him, he will answer. Just like when God prays to his children, he answers. But Doc, before you go, quickly, just give us your final words to the people watching us, just in 30 seconds.
See, especially for us in leadership, we cannot be teaching one thing and preaching another thing. If we really want to see change, we need to live our message. And I'm telling you, one good example is better than 10,000 messages taught. One good example is better than 10,000 preaching. If you do the right thing. You know, Jesus could not was not able to drum home the message of sacrifice until he died himself. The day Jesus died, all the disciples knew that this man
has died.
The man, he means what he's saying. But before then, they didn't really believe them. They were always fighting for post and all that. But when they saw the example Jesus lived, for them, you know, there was time to share. Peter was saying, Master, we follow you and we don't get anything. They came to tell him, Charlie, we want people who share the food and the money and the l'argent, you know. He said, no, I can't live. I can't live praying and meditation to serve table. I say, hey, Peter
who wanted to do a booth for just Elijah, Jesus, and the other disciples there.
No, he says he's giving up everything for you know, he said, we've left everything. You know, so one good example is better than 10,000 messages.
So we have to be the living. That's what Paul says, that we have to be a living epistle
for the people. At leadership, we must be. If you can't ask the citizens to be patriotic when you are not patriotic, we will not.
We will never.
You understand? True. You will not. You will rebel at the end.
Definitely.
But when we see you doing the right thing, you know, when we see our leaders doing the right thing, when we see them sacrificing, we will sacrifice. But if we don't, we will sacrifice.
And not even far from that, when you are in the traffic, and you hear and then they you know, people get bored because they're like, we too, we are in a hurry. Where are you going? And they also do that.
That's it.
And the lawlessness abound
for America, because he knows that if he is stranded as a citizen anywhere in the world,
they'll come for
there will be help.
Yes.
When you go to the police station, when the policeman is even treating you, you wonder if you are in another country, whether they will come and give you any help. You see, so those are the basic things. When you go to the hospital, how are you treated? You know, if you travel overseas, even if you are not an American, as long as you are a human being, when you fall down, in 2 minutes in America, anywhere, in 2 minutes there will be emergency.
I wish, Doc, you have to come back again. But also, so we've come to today's edition of the Book Review Show. It's our Independence edition, our patriotic session. We've looked at who a patriotic Ghanaian is, and we've had Dr. Benjamin Ayikwei with us here in the studio. If you're an author out there and you would want to have your book reviewed on this platform, you can call 020-343-8710 or 0548-394-622, or send us a message on Precious TV or the Book Review Show GH. Thanks so much, my crew. You've been awesome. To all those out there, thank you so much for tuning in. And a happy birthday to my husband, Owusu Asamoah. God richly bless you. Tune in same time next week, 8 o'clock. It's bye from me.